substances that people take that can affect health. Cocaine, marijuana, there are certain drugs that people take for maybe to feel elated, to feel some kind of self-satisfaction. A lot of people take it for different reasons. Some people are influenced by maybe their peers or their friends, and then it just starts it, and then it becomes a habit that they can't let go of. So all these have different effects on the way their system takes it in. It has effect on the blood vessels, has effect on the way they respond to other people around them, has effect on the way they respond to life in general. If you're taking something that is going to change your mood or make you feel good, it's likely that you won't take reality as it is. It's likely that you would not see the problems that people see or behave in a way that is acceptable by the society. In Nigeria, we have a way that you're supposed to present yourself. There's a way you're supposed to behave outside. You're supposed to, wake up in the morning, have your bath, wear your clothes, go to work. If you are under some kind of influence from a drug that makes you feel like the world is settled and there's no problem in life, you're likely to behave differently from every other person in the society.
If you feel the world is settled and you don't have issues, isn't that an advantage?
Well, it's an advantage, but the problem with that is that's the truth. Okay. If it's not the true fact, then you are living in another land. You are living an euphoric life, and you are not going to be able to relate with people around you in your environment. So amongst the family members or friends, you're going to look like someone that is behaving abnormally, and then people are going to wonder what's wrong with you. You're not going to even be able to function well in an office or in a workplace, take an instruction from a boss. It's affecting your relationship with virtually everybody around. So those are certain things that some kind of substance abuse can do. Then if someone is taking drugs like tramadol, any other drug that's supposed to be prescribed by a health professional, and you're taking it because you want it to make you feel good or put you in a good mood, or some people even get involved in it from trying to maybe cure a particular pain, and then with time they notice that they just like the feeling that drug gives them. Yeah. It's going to change the way they look at life. It's going to change the way they relate, and then you see that you can't take that kind of thing in the open. So you see you're hiding in a corner to take it. You don't want people to know. It's draining resources. It's affecting, the relationship with family. And then it's making you behave in a way that people are wondering are you okay? So these are certain drug habits that people have. Yeah,
but apart from making you behave in another way, my psychiatry teacher told me that they knock off your super ego and leave you with it, so you behave like an animal. Anything you feel, you just do. You can't calm yourself. But apart from that, what about their effects on the organs of the body?
Yes, so that was a general, mental effect. I was trying to go into the mental. But for the effect on organs, it's quite profound. You can have, cocaine affects blood vessels. Cocaine affects blood vessels. And then the other drugs that are being used have effects on, they are supposed to be taken for a particular thing. Like tramadol is supposed to help pain, it's supposed to help numb pain, and then if you're taking it in excess, it's going to be doing more than that, and after a while the person now starts becoming addicted to the drug, and then you start acting in a particular way, and then sometimes they see that they can't even function well without taking the drug to a particular extent. So it's going to affect different systems in the body. It's going to affect, and they are not sure even if you see a friend taking that drug and they still act like they are normal and sane, you're not sure the effect is going to have on your own body, because every human being is unique. Every human being would react differently to a particular drug or in a particular environment. Yes. So it still has effects on the body system, on different organs in the body.
So I think that explanation will be helpful for people who come to deceive others, that if you take this medicine, you're going to read for longer. You're going to understand, because the human body is different and people may react differently.
Sure.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go to another kind of habits, and maybe Dr. John will answer this. Okay. The use of telephone, which is very common habit. Are there things in the way we use telephone, in the hours we spend, in the way we hold it, in the way it's close to us, that will affect us?
Yeah, thank you. Phone is good.
Yes.
And many times you wonder, how are we coping? before we had mobile phones, especially. Because in the older phones, it was more of economic disease.
Yes.
Because only one person will have phone in the whole compound, and a time came that you have to lock it.
Yes.
And then you have to wake up in the night to see that your children are not. But once with the advent of mobile phones,
Yes.
it is almost like drug. A few people are, as if they are addicted to it, which means even if you are going to a place of worship and you suddenly remember, my phone, you run back as if it is money. So I won't talk about habits. I won't talk about addiction and all, but imagine you are driving.
Yes.
You are all your system was working before you got on the steering. Then if a call came in, and without thinking about it, you struggle, you pick the phone, and you are answering. No matter how good you think you are,
Yes.
it takes away your concentration.
Yes.
And it's a dangerous thing. Because many accidents have been recorded just because of telephone.
Yes.
In fact, the big one some few years ago happened even in Europe. I think a train driver answered a call at a bend that is supposed to slow down, and many lives were lost. So you leave your home healthy, then you get yourself involved in a road traffic accident, you end up in the hospital. So that is it's something we should kill.
Yes.
Driving and phoning. I know the road safety is trying to enforce it, but as individuals, we should also, no matter how important it is,
Yes.
if you are in the part of the road that you cannot park immediately, keep going. The phone will stop ringing. Where as soon as you have the opportunity to park, and then you find out who it is. Or when you get home, call the person back. I saw your missed call. I'm sorry, I was driving, I couldn't. So, because of road traffic accident, it should be discouraged, because eventually you land in the hospital and you become a patient.
Okay.
But there are issues that people have talked about. How many hours can you spend on the phone without it affecting your health, or does it affect your health? The truth about it is, we've looked at it. The noise about causing brain tumor and all that has not been. Maybe we have not used it long enough, but mobile phone use radio frequency. If it is long enough, it causes heat. So burns can occur. And imagine you are using the phone on your bed and you sleep off. We've seen a few videos or pictures that are made rounds that fire,
Yes.
occurred. And also, some telephone, especially virtually all the with lithium batteries, they also have tendency to just explode. So it is a useful instrument that we have, and we appreciate it, but we should know that there is time that we can do away with it, that we should do away with it. Driving is one of them. Also, if you are falling asleep, maybe you should just be careful in the night. That look, after unless you are a doctor, unless you are you are doing something that you are expecting call,
Yes.
you should do away with it. Also, if you are in the night, if you are on the phone, usually some people will switch off the light, the main light, because phone has this. If you stay too long on the phone, your eyes may also get strained.
Okay.
So we must be careful how we use the phone.
Yes, sir. When you talk about using it to drive,
Right.
one fear comes on me. You get into an Uber, and he's trying to find his way using the GPRS, and he has to be not just listening to that very kind lady that directs, but also looking at the map with concentration while driving. What are we going to do about that?
This is a big headache for road safety.
Yes.
Because if they see you, for whatever reason.
Yes.
Because many of us also will use the Google map to take us from one point to another.
Yes.
And You have to listen.
So it shouldn't be. Maybe
It
we
shouldn't
discuss.
be.
Maybe we discuss it when we come back. When we come back, we will continue this interesting discussion. Thank you.
Right.
Welcome back. Before we went on break, we were talking about habits and how particularly the use of phones can cause accidents and a problem. So we're discussing the problem of Uber. How will road safety handle the Uber drivers? I would like you to continue with that, Dr. Aju.
Right. As we said, it is a dangerous thing to use the phone while driving. Now, if you are not the one driving, that's a different thing.
Sure.
But as a driver, whether you are a commercial driver like Uber or Bolt or whichever one, it is dangerous.
Yes.
So if the passenger knows where he or she is going, then let the person direct.
Okay.
But if the passenger also does not know, is not sure, well, there has to be a way. There has to be a better way. Either will now enforce, whether the road safety will enforce that they have stand, so that they are not looking away from the road, but they are looking ahead and listening and seeing it, because some smart vehicles have, map that can show them rather than you look. So we must plead with Road Safety Commission to find a way to move to the next level.
Okay, I think we will do that. Viewers, I believe you would like to get engaged in this discussion. We are discussing habits and health. Whether you are looking for clarification or you want to ask a different question on behalf of someone, or you want to contribute to what we are discussing. The number is on the screen, but I called in 0907 111 5342. 0907 111-5342. We are waiting for your calls while we continue the discussion. Now, because we are talking about driving,
Right.
I think it's good to go and discuss something about driving. Some people drive for long hours.
Okay.
I know maybe when you are traveling for somewhere that's 10 hours, sometimes you drive until your full tank is off, then you take fuel, and then you drive again. The driving for long hours without rest or stretching your legs in between, what health dangers will we see from those?
Yeah, thank you. In fact, long distance truck drivers,
Okay.
they are in a cohort, they're in a group.
Yes.
Especially when we first had the outbreak of HIV, because they drive for so many hours, it affected their sleeping, because for days they are still on the road.
Yes.
So it was a predisposing factor for HIV infection.
Okay.
But even if you are not a commercial driver, if you have to drive long distance, it is not safe sitting, and most of the vehicles now are even automatic, that the legs are not so active as it used to be when it was all
So which is worse?
which is worse.
Yeah.
So it is advisable
Yeah.
that if you can afford it, after 3 hours,
Yeah.
2 hours is what is coming to my mind, but let's say after 3 hours, if it's such a long journey, it is, if possible, after every hour, just stop. I know we are always wired. This journey, it takes 6 hours to drive from.
And you're afraid to go there at night, so.
Yeah, so you want to get there on time.
Yes.
So you speed, which is another habit,
Yes.
but it is not it is dangerous. I think that's the point I want to make, that it is dangerous for you to sit for too long without changing your position. So if possible, when it is safe to do so, because again I'm mindful of all the security on the road,
Yeah.
find a place to park, maybe petrol station or something, and just stretch your leg, even if it is just 5 minutes, and then you continue.
So what's going to happen if you don't stretch your legs?
If you don't stretch your legs, there is what we call the blood flow from the legs
Yes.
back to the heart
Yes.
and to the lungs is difficult because of gravity.
Okay.
So if you don't, blood tends to pool
Okay.
in the legs, and there is that tendency for it to clot.
Okay.
Yeah, so to prevent obstruction, which is a dangerous thing. Of course, wherever is obstructed will only be swollen. That's not the fear.
Okay.
The fear is some of it may now break inside the blood vessels,
Yes.
and is carried to go and block a major artery in the lungs, which is it causes almost instant death when we talk about pulmonary embolism.
Yes.
And it is from clots like that.
Yes.
So if you have deep vein thrombosis, as we call it,
Okay.
the danger, the deep vein thrombosis itself is just pain and swelling. But what we are afraid of is part of the clot breaking up to go and block a vital vessel, and which can cause instant death. So it is not advisable. If you are, whether you are driving, you should try and do so and wait in safe places to stretch your leg. When you are not driving and you are just, you should, it is the same thing.
Okay, so it's same for the passenger, as
well
as the driver. Okay.
If you are going, maybe it's a long flight, even in the airplane,
Yes.
you should try and get up, change your position, just stretch. It is safe.
Okay.
Because you keep the blood flowing.
Viewers, this is very important because everybody travels, and many people fly, many people go on road, whether you are passenger, and sometimes the passenger is actually squeezed in a particular squeezed position for hours. Passengers should try to demand that, can we rest, can we stretch our legs, if the place is security-wise safe. So thank you for that. Because we have just talked about sitting down in the car, maybe Dr. Fumi, you educate us on those who have a sedentary lifestyle. You just sit down in the office, looking at your computer, just sit down in one place for hours, or some people they say the person is a potato couch, a couch potato.
Couch potato.
You just stay in one place and watching television all night, all day. What are the health effects of that kind of habit?
Okay, thank you, sir. Sedentary lifestyle is, for some people, it's maybe you've worked a lot, maybe you got educated, you hustled in life to get to a particular position.
Yes.
And then you get to a particular age and you say, okay, this is the time I need to rest, enjoy the benefits of my labor. And you have AC in your office, you sit down on the chair for maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, you're not moving, you're just in the chair, they bring food, they serve you in the office, you have people, you rarely stand up. As you're going back home, you enter into the car, you're not driving, you have a driver driving you. I mean, that's the payment for, the sacrifice you've had to make. Yeah. Now, the problem with that lifestyle is, first of all, you are resting most of the time, even though your mind is active. I know the brain uses glucose and all that. So you are likely to add more weight than usual. You add weight. Now, with weight gain, you're going to obesity. You eat more, as in you since people are cooking, it depends on the category or what's going on with the person at that time. Sometimes you may bring food from home, but this food is made to your own specification. You can now demand for roasted turkey, whatever you want. It's the money can provide, so you get to eat those kind of food. And then some people would eat more fatty food, or the food they are interested in. I mean, they've worked a long time in their life and this is the time to really rest. Eat more of carbohydrates. So we are looking at increased blood glucose. And then because their age is advanced, the cells that take care of breaking down glucose in the body sometimes are overworked at that age. They are not working as when the person was younger. So you have those cells overworking, trying to store the glucose that is brought in, and then you have excess glucose in the blood leading to diabetes mellitus. And then another thing they can have is hypertension, high blood pressure, because sometimes you have, with increasing age, the heart's muscles are not like when it was younger. So you have the left side of the heart, the left ventricle sometimes gets thicker, and then the pressure is using to pump is more. And we also talked about eating fatty foods. You have them, fat stores in the blood vessels, yes, and as blood is trying to pump around, so they are like a constellation of symptoms all together, linked to that lifestyle, not moving around as frequently as you should, eating what you want to eat because you have the money, not having that much activity. Everything is just adding up to cause different things. And
but what can someone do to reduce this kind of sedentary lifestyle? Viewers, we're still waiting. Somebody tried to call. Sorry, we couldn't pick that. We are still waiting. The number is the same, 0907 111 5342. Continue.
Okay, sir.
What can we do to help people who, or should they change that kind of habit?
I hope you are not talking about those of us that are
retired. No, I'm careful. I'm careful to not. Okay, so first of all is awareness that you have money, or you are now in a point in life where you are rested compared to when you were hustling. Doesn't mean that you should now eat and do everything like you would have done when you were younger. There's more awareness of the age. Your body changes, as when you are younger, all the hair is white, black. Now you have gray hair, so the body is getting older. So you need to, and this is the vessel that we all have. You have to take care of it. So first of all is awareness. So get involved with exercise. It doesn't have to be going to the gym and lifting up weights like you see on TV or people show on social media. You can it can be a walk every day or every 2 days. Just be consistent with it. And then you can have, certain friends and, family joining just to kind of encourage yourself to get active. Then the fact that you have money means health. You should get health checks as regularly as you should. So you should go to the hospital, you have 6 monthly checkup, 4 monthly, just, have blood pressure monitored, have blood sugar monitored, let them do a lipid profile, check, for, cholesterol levels and all that. So those things would help to, the state that you are. you know where you're tending towards. Because sometimes it's not that you're even diabetic, it can be that you're already having glucose intolerance. Just sugar is, or the blood sugar is becoming higher than it used to be. But if you don't know what it used to be, how would you now know that there's something wrong, even though there's not a disease state at that time? Yes. One of the problems we have as Nigerians is we are not so big on prevention. We wait till you are sick, you can't stand up, you are having fever, you know, you now call people, oh, I'm very sick, I have to go to the hospital. But it's supposed to be a way of life to go to the hospital for some checkup.
Yes.
You're a particular age as a woman, you should be able to, you should know, okay, I should check for cervical cancer, I should check for endometrial cancer, I should do breast examination. It doesn't have to be, you are now really sick and then everybody's running up and down, oh, this person is sick. We should work more from the prevention point of view.
Yes,
Okay,
I used to tell people that they can give themselves a gift on the bad day, and that bad day gift is that they go for a medical checkup. That's the best gift you can give to yourself. But you wanted to mention something about that.
That let you know, just be that is for people that are rich or retired.
Yeah, okay.
Even young people. If you are a telephone,
Especially nowadays, yeah?
telephone operator, you just sit and receive call and receive call and receive call, and maybe you are not many. It is a problem to recognize that your job is sitting down. So I'm going to work. You are going to sit down for several hours. So either you do your exercise, or immediately you get home, you do the exercise. Yeah. So sitting for too long, whether you are old, whether you are young, is a problem.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. We will take a break. When we come back, we will talk about eating habits. And I think that one is a great one. We talk about eating habits when we come back. Stay tuned and get ready to call in. Well, welcome back. The discussion is on habits and health. I have in the studio Dr. Olusegun Ajuwon and Dr. Fumi Elusoji, who are tackling the topic. We've gone around and heard a few topics that we have discussed. I'm still waiting for your calls. If they come in, we will discuss and hear your own perspective. So please do call in. Before we went on break, I had promised that we will be talking about eating habits. Different eating habits are starvation, gluttony, sticking to one class of food, eating too early, eating too late, severe fasting, too much sugar, and so many things. How do they affect our health?
Okay. We are born to eat.
Oh, okay.
If you don't eat, you won't last long.
Yes.
Okay. But again, like we said, everything in nature is organized.
Yes.
There is a time to be awake. There is a time to sleep. And in between, while you are awake, there are things you should do. Moving is one of them. Eating is one of them.
Okay.
So it is not a disease to eat, but everything in life calls for moderation. So the time of eating, for example,
yes,
it is good to eat during daytime. And daytime means, should there be so many? Is it normal to eat 3 times? Is it a law that says you must eat 3 times? Well, there is no law. But since we are not animals that have a place where you can keep everything you eat and then bring it back in small bits, that is why it is physiological, it is normal to eat at intervals. Because if you eat just once in a day, of course, by the time you finish eating, your digestion starts and things will start to accumulate. And then it starts and as it's accumulating, it is also being used.
yes.
So after some time, you will finish what you have eaten now will finish, because some of it will be necessarily stored.
Okay.
Some are used. So the levels of glucose especially will go down, and the body can bring the one that is stored back.
Yes.
But the process of bringing it back is cumbersome, and also the products, the side product, the waste product that comes from converting the food back to glucose accumulates. This will give extra work to the organs like the liver and the kidney.
Okay.
So it is nice, it is physiological, it is normal for us to eat at intervals, not just eat once a day. The danger also, if you eat just once a day, you that meal is likely to be too much. People that have such habits, they tend to eat more than their system can take care of. So eat in small, in installment and in small quantities. So what is small quantity? What is big quantity? Because if you now say, and then of course you will mind what you eat, mind what you eat. So if you eat too much, that's your gluttony. Even the holy books, frowns at gluttons. So don't overeat, even if it is good. Oh, I love this one. Yes, you love it, and the thing loves you too. But just take a little. You can come back later and take a little bit more. So one should it is advisable that eat at least 3 times a day. There are some people that have some diseases that we even advise eat in between. Okay, so if we are now saying eat more than 3 times, I'm not saying you should now have, you should now mind the size. You should mind the size of the food that you are eating. Even if you eat normal and good food and overeat them, it goes on to cause overload on the system, which will lead to disease. So gluttony is bad. That's eating too much. Is bad at a sitting because you overwork the system. Also, what of fasting? Fasting is very good because it gives the system, some of the body system, time to maybe they are free of work
to rest.
Okay. So fasting is good, but you should also know you don't overdo it. Okay. In fact, we know that if people talk about dry fast, for example, where you don't eat at all, you don't drink at all, it is not safe to go beyond 3 days. Okay. It is not safe to go. And if you want to do anything like that, you should be in the hospital environment.
No, sir, let's get it right.
Yes.
Dry fasts.
Yes, that is
not going beyond 3 days. Does it mean the person does not drink water, does not eat for 3 days?
Yes.
That's the highest.
That is the
or the normal fast of breaking.
There are some people that they just don't. They say it's dry fast. Okay. They don't eat food. They don't drink water.
Yes, for days.
For days. Okay. There is no breaking. Once they start, it is continuous. Yes. It's a dangerous thing to go beyond 3 days. Okay. Okay. But what of those of it?
Sorry, sir. We got a call. Hello? Oh, we missed that. Okay, sir. Sorry.
Right. So
please try to call back. Thank you for attempting to call. Try to call back. Yes.
Yes. So fasting is good for the body. Is also good for the spirit. So, but we should not overdo it.
Okay.
We shouldn't overdo it. And of course, when you want to break your fast, depending on how many hours you have been fasting, it should also be, the food that you will take should also be in small quantity to start with. Because if you overload it, there's a surgical emergency that can arise.
Okay.
You know, the intestine will turn upon itself because of the sudden bloating, sudden enlargement of the lumen. It can turn on itself, and you end up in surgery, you know, into susception. So it is not good to overdo anything. Fasting is good for the body, the systems, they recover, they rest and recover.
Yes.
And if you are going to break, please break also in moderation.
Okay.
Don't say, I have not eaten since morning. This is,
So let
don't
me
over
adjust and eat.
Right.
So thank you very much. What about eating late hours?
Late hours. The danger in late hours, or the disadvantage to the system in late hours, is if you eat in the morning, even if you disobey your doctor's order of eat a little, let us assume you overeat in the daytime, whether you like it or not, there will be opportunities or reasons for you to go around and burn it, rearrange it. But if you eat late, and late, somebody asked me today, what time will you say is late?
Yes.
I say, please, as much as possible, let it not be more than 8 p.m. Let your dinner not be later than 8 p.m. There are some people that are just closing home, they met traffic jam, and they are getting home at 11. So, am I saying they shouldn't eat? They can eat.
Yes.
But they should eat.
Yes.
But don't eat too much.
Okay.
Don't eat too much.
Okay.
So eating late, anything after 8, I will say is probably late.
Okay.
And if you must eat after that time, then mind what you eat and mind the quantity.
Okay. Mind what you eat, mind the quantity.
Right.
As a matter of fact, that is very useful to your health. Now, let's move from food and eating habits. Let's go to sleeping habits.
Oh.
Now, there are people who sleep for a very long time. There are people who sleep for short time. Dr. Fumi, maybe you talk to us about that.
Okay, sir. So for sleeping habits...
but sorry to cut you short.
Yes, sir.
You just take it quickly so that we can go on break.
Okay, so now for sleeping habits, most people would build their sleeping habit based on their situation or their jobs.
Yes.
Yeah. Some people, if they're on holiday, they will sleep, into the mornings throughout the days. Other people, because if you stay in a place like Lagos that you have to be up at a particular time, you would sleep shorter hours because of traffic, and you want to beat the traffic and all that. Now the problem with this is that if you don't get enough sleep, it affects how your day goes. It affects how alert you are. It affects the kind of decisions you'll be making.
Okay.
And sometimes people don't realize it because you're young, you are strong. It tells over time. Some people just are having problems remembering a lot of things just because of the habits they've had over time, because of maybe their work schedules.
And that can impact your health in a bad way.
in the long run,
Viewers, we take a break again, and we want to remind you of your number to call. After the break, we will continue this discussion about sleep habits. Welcome back. We were talking about sleep. We're talking about the hours of sleep, whether sleeping short periods or long periods. What will you say is long sleep, long periods or short periods? I mean,
again,
if we must prescribe something.
Right. Again, sleep is a natural thing.
Yes.
And it is a necessary thing also.
Yes.
For children, newborn, all they do is just sleep. Wake up, then cry, suck breast, and go back to sleep. They need it for growth.
Okay.
So long hours for... So as you grow older, your requirement for sleep gets less. Requirement.
Yes.
So whether you now get into the habit, like doctor told us, that people that have suffered, they've suffered in their previous life, now they have made it, and now say, look, don't wake me. Nobody should talk to me until 11.
Yes.
Again, if you sleep from last night up till 11 a.m.
Yes.
and you will repeat the same thing this night,
Yes.
then you are overloading a few things.
Yes.
Because one, you don't need that much sleep. So if you say, doctor, how many hours is adequate for me? I will say between 6 to 8 hours is adequate for an adult.
Yes.
If you are younger, babies, they can sleep longer.
Okay.
Yes. So if you're asking for how long, and again, if you sleep like as an adult, if you oversleep, it has economic effect, which eventually will have a health, which will have effect on your health.
Certainly.
Certainly. So it is important that you shouldn't oversleep. And even if you stay in Karo or Nyanya axis of Abuja, because which is the same thing as the Lagos people, they have to wake up very early, and by the time they get back home, it's also very late. So they have limited time. There must be a way, maybe over the weekend, where you don't go to work, to compensate.
Okay.
Because the body requires it. Body requires sleep. It's a requirement.
Okay, sir.
Now,
okay, yes. The last thing about sleep?
About sleep. Again, is there a normal position to sleep? Is there a safe position? Is there a medical position?
Yes. Is there a good surface to sleep on?
Is there a good, must everybody... Now, let me take it one by one. What is there a good or is there a recommended position? Again, there has been several talks about position. But one thing that on a personal note, if I sleep on my back facing up, I tend to have bizarre dreams. Because it is during sleep that you dream.
Yes.
And dream also has its own good effect. But if you have to have bizarre dreams every morning, it can spoil your day. So maybe sleeping on the side, if you ask me now, sleeping on the side is better. Is it the right, is it the left, any side?
But
there are small...
But for pregnant women?
Again, pregnant women, I won't recommend anyone that is convenient for a pregnant woman.
No, but if it is early pregnancy, we will recommend that they can sleep in any position that is good for them. But when the uterus gets too big, that position of lying on your back will press on return of the blood, we say no, sleep on your side. And if we will choose a side, we will choose the left side.
Left. Yes, again, which position? But okay, some people like lying on my bed. If you ask me, are you saying I can't sleep on my tummy? Well, it is not the best, but nothing says you can't sleep on your tummy. Yeah, nothing says it.
No.
And, so if you ask me, I would say side is the best position to sleep on your side is the best position for sleep. But when sleep catches you, especially if you are so tired, you probably won't remember which position
you are sleeping. Well, let me take us back to weight. Because some people feel very bad about their weight and they want to lose it at all costs. And so they take drastic means. That drastic means you hear different kinds of names for diet or exercises or concoctions you see people put together in a cup. It stays there in the fridge for days, and they drink those concoctions to lose weight. I don't think it works. What are the health effects of such severe things we do to our bodies to lose weight?
Okay, sir. To lose weight, people do different things. I know one of the things I've heard of is early morning drinking lime or lemon in water early morning. And when I hear my friends mention, they'll tell me, it detox the system, and I'm like, okay, that may be true. But the problem is, if you are a patient that has, if you are someone that has ulcer, or you already have a probability to have something like that, you are just setting up yourself for entering into that phase as early as possible. And then I have to explain that
before you continue.
Yes, sir.
I would like to ask Dr. John, we will go back to our title.
Yes, sir.
If this detoxing of the body, do you need something external to detox the body? Are there toxins? Doesn't the body have its own way of handling toxins?
The truth is, for globally, for reasons that are many, alternative medicine seems just to be popular. One of them is this: you detox. This one, you put this plaster and you wake up in the morning, the color is so... the body is wired, is built to detox itself. So there is no need for any detoxification. There is no need.
Well, let's leave it there. We get the time to talk about it more. Please, the numbers are there: 0907 111 5342. I'm intently looking at the phone so that I can pick your call. Please, let's continue about the use of different things, severe things that you want to lose weight. No.
Okay. So what they do with that is they feel it helps to, burn fats. Apart from the detoxing, they feel it helps to burn fat. And when when they tell me that, I say, okay, you don't know if you have ulcer or if you can develop ulcer from this. Drinking this in the morning lime is acidic. It can actually, push you to have these things. Okay, why don't you eat something or drink water? Water alone in the morning, first thing, is fine. I'm all for the, rehydrating yourself. It makes it easy for you to use the toilet in the morning for some people. Do that, then maybe later on in the day when you've not eaten for some time, you can, or you have maybe eaten in an in-between meal, you can take something like that. So there are different things people actually take, like you mentioned, to just keep them in shape. The problem is what is inside what you're taking.
Yes.
Do you know what is mixed?
Garlic, cucumber,
everything.
onion, everything.
Yeah, what is inside. And some of them will even tell you it is natural.
Yes.
But we know that everybody will react differently to a natural thing.
Yes.
So the fact that one person took it and leaves a size 14 to become size 8 does not mean you will take it and you will not go through that. And now there's a part of the body, liver. It filters everything that comes in. Everything that comes in, it breaks it down to something the body can recognize and use. So you take in certain things and the liver does the work of breaking it down. Yes. Now we know that some herbal supplements can cause disease to the liver or to the kidney. The kidney filters everything that you drink, everything that you take in out of the body. So sometimes we know that some of these herbal supplements are so harsh that they affect the cells of the kidney. Now we have younger and younger people having kidney failure.
I think another thing about this losing weight is, if it is not something that can become your habit, it won't work. Keto diet, whatever name or that. The point is, what is advisable is for you to aim at losing weight, maybe steadily. If you're ready, if you can prevent it, the best is to prevent it. But that time you're already overweight. You should, if you want something that will last, you should try to lose it in small bits. So any habit that you will form, anything that you are going to do that you cannot continue on a daily basis, you may lose weight drastically. Some people even wire their jaw and just take only liquid by straw. As soon as in less than 3 weeks, they will gain the weight they lost back and more. So it is not advisable. There are drugs in the past that some are even, if you go to the pharmacy, you see get some drugs for weight loss, but they may work there. As soon as you stop it, you will now eat so much back. You eat so much that you you will weigh more than where you started from. So it is not advisable.
Yes.
Once you've added so much weight and you are worried about it, then determine to lose it, but lose and know that you can only lose it gradually.
So
if you want
the
it to
goal
sustain.
should not be so high.
No,
it should be
no.
attainable goals.
Attainable goals. Look,
without any severity
if you
to your
want
body.
to put on 2 kilograms
Yes.
in 2 weeks, you can do it.
Yes.
But if you want to lose 1 kilogram, give yourself 2 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, it is. Because if you drastically lose it, you are likely to gain it back in another 1 month. So it's always good to, and don't be discouraged that upon all my efforts, there's still, yes.
So in practical terms, should you do more exercise? Should you do portion? Should you do type of food?
That is to prevent.
Yes.
If you have added the weight,
Yes.
you should now say, look, no matter what you are eating, it has to be in small, except it is just grass.
Yes.
Like salad that is empty in
Yes.
energy. When it comes to energy, it will just fill the space, but it's empty.
Yes.
Carrots, cucumber, the other big flour. Yes, but so if you must have that, if you can eat that in large quantities, but anything that will give energy,
You should.
carbohydrate, protein, fat, it should be in portions.
Well, thank you very much. We must stop here because time wouldn't let us to continue. We've been discussing various topics, habits that people have and how it affects their health. We have more interesting habits that you will listen to tomorrow if you view us in Africa Health Television on TSTV. The things like use of beauty products, things like sexual habits, things like wearing uncomfortable wear, and so on. We're going to talk more about it, and the ones that you are going to call in to tell us about it. Please stay tuned. We are grateful to our media crew, and we are also grateful to my guests, Dr. Olusegun Ajuwon. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Dr. Olusoji,
Thank you, sir.
for coming. Please don't miss this. Thank you very much, and bye for now.